So, guy, now I want us to understand something here. Slavery has not been wiped out.
Yeah.
It has just been modernized. Now, what do I mean? We understand, we were taught in our, what's it called, in secondary school, how slavery was. Most of us that did government. And for those who didn't do government and don't really understand history, the Europeans or the white people, they came to Africa. That's what they call the black continent, right? Dark continent. Even up to now, we are still called the dark continent. But they came to Africa. And what did they do? They met the kings, the obas, whatever, most especially in Africa. They met the obas, the emirs, or whatever, who was ever that they saw as in charge. And they paid those people bicycles. They gave them different what's it called, valuables in return for the labor force of their people. In return for slaves to come and work for them, right? That was it. So they came to us. They went to the people that we saw as in charge, and they saw us in charge, paid them off in exchange for us as a workforce. Do you understand?
Yeah.
That was slavery.
Yeah.
Now, how is it modernized? These people, most especially USA, they do this a lot. They tell us, or do you know that the United States, have you guys know about the USA aid that was going on, that the money that this Trump that's Dodge, that Dodge thing that Trump has set up, where Elon Musk is head of it, they were able to discover some money, a lot of money that was going, as they call it as US aid, that was going into what's it called, securities for countries like Ukraine, that's during the war. They were going into Nigeria. So Nigeria as one of the countries too that was there, that was being supplied, Iran and all this stuff. But yet, this money has not been able to be. They've not been discovered. You remember the recent argument where Trump and Zelensky had, and Zelensky said that they did not see the money that these people were sending to them. So where exactly was this money going to? The same money that you people have been sending to Nigeria, the same money that you people have been sending to different countries, that wherever what's called the war started. So where exactly is this money going to? My brother and sister, let me tell you what this money is going to. This money is going to the government of these countries. How do I mean? USA during the time of Biden, right, or even past presidents, what they do is they allocate funds to all these countries. They've done it to countries like China before, India, most especially African countries though. But these two countries, India, China, they used to do it. And that was when China was not China itself, or they were not themselves. But these countries like China and India, they realized that what they were doing was putting this slavery. Now, how do I mean? This USA aid, or all these funds that these people are taking in, what they do is they pay this government, make them to hinder the country's economy. People now see it as a failing economy because of how the government operates. Not knowing that these countries, they pay these people off to hinder this country so that they can supply.
They can supply them with more work.
Yeah, and our people will now see USA as heaven. Let's go and work for these people.
Yeah. The thing that people don't understand now. I actually thought about it. Remember that day I told you I was actually thinking about this thing. I told myself is that call me crazy, but I think that you have more chances of making it in Nigeria than making it in America.
In America, you're going to work for see, now they pay these people off. They pay this government off. This government hinders the economy. Then they protect their country as good and all those things, right? As secure and all those things. And I'm telling you, the USA is even much more deadly, or they even have more attacks than you even have in Nigeria here. Do you understand? They are even more satanic what's it called, religions in the United States than in Nigeria here. We are thinking, there are worse things, but these countries they portray themselves as good. USA, France. Right, these two countries are two countries I can think of. They portray themselves as good countries, like booming country, people see them as like this economy. The economy is good because of this force. These people that are going there to work for them, right? That is modern day slavery. They pay this our governor, our president or whatever people in power. They hinder, they make our economy bad, and we then see them as this heaven. Whereas they need us, we don't need them. They need us. That is why they are doing it. The moment we start to realize that we can take back our country, or we can work in Nigeria, like you don't need to work for someone for you to make money in this country. The moment you start to realize that you need to gain skills, you see that Nigeria is actually the best. It's much easier to make money in Nigeria than going to America and looking for a job. I'm telling you.
Yeah, and look at it. For me, the reason why it's like that, the reason why I think it's easier to make it in Nigeria, because in Nigeria there are lesser jobs. In America there are more jobs. Yeah, let's say you move into America in a week, you can find a job. So the thing about jobs now is that jobs don't actually make you rich. Job is just another form of slavery, keeping you at a particular place, telling you to work for a particular amount of hours, and then they will give you money they painted out of thin air. So it's just, for me, it's just like another modern day slavery. So those things now, they are not that much in Nigeria. So yeah, it's actually easier to make it in Nigeria than to make it in America. But people don't see these things because, like you said, our governments and the rest of them up there, they have been paid off.
Yeah.
So if someone can actually sit down to learn a skill, someone can actually sit down to start a business from scratch, the chances of you making it is very, very, very high. Much more higher in a way than when you're in America. America, jobs are everywhere. And jobs are the things that they used to. Jobs are just like the blindfold.
Yeah.
That they are using to cover our eye, like the veil they used to cover our eye.
Yeah.
So jobs are everywhere in America. But yeah, very limited, very few. So people now have to do what? Now have to think, now have to hustle. America is not heaven. America, I'm telling you the truth. People are thinking that America is heaven. America is if you go to America, making it is not assured. People that used to go to America now, these days now, how often do they used to come back? Except that, you know, when they are now very grounded in Nigeria, when they go outside, they can come back when they want. But if that they go when they are poor, with the hope, let me put hope, with the hope of making it when they go outside, sometimes they almost never come back. When they come back, once in how many years? Because they don't have the money to. And then they thought that when they go there, they will make a lot of money. But now they don't have the money to even come back.
Because you're going there to go and work. You're not going there to see.
Yes.
People don't understand that it's not automatic justice. That's why I like Trump now. People see that, Trump is sending people out of his country. He doesn't. Why is he doing this? He doesn't like immigrants. He doesn't like black people. He's racist. You guys don't understand that Trump is trying to help you fucking twats. He's trying to help us in Africa. He's trying to help those in South America. He's trying to help those countries because those countries are on the verge of, they see them as a failing economy and underdeveloped economy. He's sending you back to go and help. He knows that you guys are coming here in the idea of work, but what you guys don't understand that you guys are the product of modern day slavery. He's saying go back to your countries and make it better. You don't need to come to USA. And so he's trying to make you guys understand that you guys don't need us, right? What's it called? We don't need you, right? Or like you don't need us. You can do it in your own country. So go back and work on your country. Go back and take your country. But people are seeing him as a bad person, or Trump is evil. He's this. They're not evil people. First of all, now they don't know that USA has they thought they were making sense, right? Those people thought they were making sense. They thought they were doing themselves good, right? Participating in slavery, but they didn't know they were hindering their own economy themselves, right? Because now this also, because everything has advantages, also have disadvantages. Now the US thought they were smart in what they were doing, but they didn't know that even as much as they were doing it was hindering their country. Why? Because one, these people were coming in as immigrants or as illegal citizens, so they will work for the economy, right? And the work they will put into the economy will grow how much tax will be that will be implemented on the people working, and you can only impose tax on illegal citizens or legal citizens of the country. So as an illegal citizen, you cannot pay tax. So the taxes more will be more on those who are legal citizens.
So they are just actually like suffering the illegal
that,
citizens.
and that's what I'm saying. The advantages that they saw were benefiting from it. It was growing the economy, but now as it's getting too much, it's becoming now an hindrance to them. So now Trump has seen all these things and said, guy, like, you people need to go back to your country. You guys were the product of what's it called? We meant to see that USA was what, but that was not it. People need to start to realize themselves. Modern day slavery. So like now that all this has been basically be unveiled, go and ask yourself, where do you think all these monies were going to? All this money that was being discovered from the US aid, they put money into Boko Haram or this. Where do you think all this money went to? Where do you think this money went to? This money went to the government. They went to these people that were in charge. Today, Boko Haram is still one of the biggest worries in Nigeria. But yet, if you go and check the top 3 countries that are was profiting from the US aid, Nigeria is not the top 3. You have Ukraine. I don't know the second country, but Nigeria is third. Nigeria is third in the list of countries that have generated the loss from US aid. Where is the money going to? They hinder the country because when Jonathan was what's it called, in power, Nigeria was seen as a vast growing, that in the next, that by 2025 we're meant to be $2 billion we're meant to have what's it called, but $2 billion as our GDP. That was the statistical what's it called, like from Jonathan's era. These people saw it. So to hinder that, because if that happens, right, more people would see Nigeria as a more beneficial country and would not want to leave
Nigeria and go to America.
So these people used, that's what Barack Obama, he used Boko Haram